Hello and welcome to the first game of Dev Cup 2020. We are live well, we're not live. We're here with Kent and Manchester. Yeah, first mistake of the day, that'll do it. Reffing today, we've got Tatman as head ref. Later we're going to see Claude on as the snitch. Brooms down has been called. Manchester are ready. Kent are ready. Ready. Brooms up. And here they go. First to the quaffle, we have Kent running up there, but being tackled there by, I believe, Michael. We've got a bit of a rumble there going on with number 13 of Kent, really pushing into there. No one's taking them out. Sergio there on the bludger for Manchester, shielding Fergus. Fergus, keeper for Manchester, walking it down the pitch. Nice and steady. Not a fast game to start off with, but number 13 there going in for again, but being beaten out there. Lovely catch and a pass there. Shot at the goals and a miss. Blocked there by number 42 of Kent. Kent didn't give me the numbers on the sheet, so I don't know who number 42 is. Jackson. Let's see if I can find that one. I feel like Jackson's going to be on a lot. Kent again, ambling up the pitch. Kent with their coach for the day, Josh Armitage, yelling at them to get up the pitch. There's a long shot there at the goals, not blocked by number 6 of Manchester, but intercepted. Number 6 of Manchester, I believe Michael, is an auxiliary player, being shielded there by a bludger-controlled Manchester beta team. 51 catching the pass, going up for a long pass there, passes it off to a little bit of an intercept there, but Antonio's still keeping the ball in. Number 12, I believe, of Kent, again no numbers on the cheat sheet, has now got the quaffle, running up the pitch. Very little defence there from Manchester, but Sergio has pulled it back, and Shari also with a bludger, giving full bludger control to Manchester. They're keeping Kent just outside of the shooting range there. He's not quite comfortable to make the shot. Number 1, he's going for it, he's faking for it, and he's passed it over to number 7, who knocks it and clips the hoop, but not going in. I believe Michael on Manchester intercepted the quaffle. Manchester going for a jog off the pitch now, speeding up slightly. Beaters managed to get in between Manchester and their beaters. They're taking the shot there. Oh, and just rimmed it. Oh, very close. You never like it when the job's not quite finished. But a very good shot there by Manchester. Kent signalling something. Keeper passing it off and getting a nice little bit of a headbutt on their chaser. Walking down the pitch nice and slow. This is a lovely time to go get a cup of tea. I believe that is Carla there with the quaffle. They're lining up their shot, being pressed there quite high by Manchester's bludgers. Manchester still has full bludger control. I think it's been the whole game. Number 51 of Manchester knocking out of Carla's hand. Beaters are fighting it in. There's a loose quaffle. It's been intercepted though by number 1 of Kent. Number 1 charging it in. Sergio trying to get a loose bludger. There's no one really there to stop them. Pushing him back. Passed off to Antonio there of Manchester. And here comes number 51 of Manchester running down the pitch. They are charging in. Number 6, no one there to stop them. The keeper just getting there in time. And it's a goal. Popping it off the shoulder. Just getting it in there. Lovely little fast legs. Kent's keeper really trying his best there to stop that, but just not being fast enough, unfortunately. Kent again, walking down the pitch. Little bit of a jog going on here, but going quite slowly. It looks like Kent are just going straight back for the same attack that they've done time and time again. A quaffle carrier pulls it up the pitch a little bit, with one bludger defending them. A little bit of a shield. It's not worked so far, but you can always try your luck. Looks like there was a back to hoops there for Manchester. I think just slight egregious tackle. And there we go, number 6 for Manchester running up the pitch. No, 51 for Manchester, running it up. And a missed shot there, unfortunately. An open goal with a missed shot. It does happen. A lot of pressure on today when you're playing for a spot back in BQC. Sub being made for Kent, for number 4 subbing in for Kent. Let's see where we go. And Kent's keeper now reclaiming the quaffle. It took them a little bit of time. I think they were having to circumnavigate a fence. As we all know, fences are the natural enemy of the Quidditch player. Kent very slowly walking up the pitch now. Again, one bludger shielding. Waiting for a moment to try and force themselves through. But Manchester, I believe they've taken up, it looks like a man mark. Slight cavalry wall man mark, I would call it. Kent knocking out 51, who is the point chaser for Manchester. Manchester missing a beat there, number 4 breaking it through for no, but being pushed back out by the keeping defence by Manchester. Manchester attempting a beat, missing a beat there on the back of number 4, who's charging it in, being intercepted there. Number 70. I can't quite make out the number there, but I believe now number 6 of Manchester has quaffle control. Running up, Sergio shielding them from the side with the bludger. 77 making a passing option. Number 6 charging it in, and they made the shot. It did go in. However, it was dislodged hoof, but the second attempt there definitely went in. That is, I believe, Michael. I'm going to call both the auxiliary players of Manchester Michael, because I remember one of them was called Michael. That's about it. Keeper for Kent currently has possession in their keeper zone. Kent currently not moving at all. The score is currently 2-0. Not 1-1 as we're being told. It's 2-0. Kent walking up the pitch there. Not quite sure what the bit of the delay there on the play was. But it looks like the refs have decided that it wasn't delay of play. Lenience will be given in this tournament in Development Cup 2020. Manchester have the quaffle possession, passed off the pitch. So out of boundaries ball, possession goes to Manchester. Manchester is given possession to number 51, auxiliary player, Michael. Or now they passed it back on to the number 77, Joey of Manchester. Passing it off to Fergus, who is being shielded by Sergio. Manchester still remaining with bludger control. I believe that has been the entire game that Manchester has been able to hold on to that. Fergus, though, now up against the defence of Kent without any bludgers, running it through, passing off to number 12, who just misses a catch, keeping the ball in play just ever so slightly, passing it back to Fergus, who has still remained on pitch, who's being pressed by number 4 of Kent, who's gone in for a shot, and Fergus has scored. I believe passing through the entirety of Kent's defence there. Oh, I do apologise. Number 77 of Manchester is Hanny, not Joey. My eyes are failing me in my old age. Who we got? So Kent again not moving forward. I believe Bateman, the head ref, Matt, the head ref, was moving in to call a possible delay of game there, but decided not to, giving a bit of leniency to Kent. Kent missing a shot there, and it's gone out of bounds, which gives Fergus for Manchester possession of the quaffle. Fergus passing it off to Hanny, number 77 of Manchester. Sorry, slight issue with the camera there. Manchester passing it around there to number 73, Christine, passing it back to Fergus. That has gone over the boundary, which means it is a 1 reset for Manchester. They can't reset it past the boundary again. Christine being passed the ball there, throwing it over, big pass there to number 12 of Manchester, who has fought it out there against the defence, but being beaten out there. Little bit of a roll off after beat, but the refs have let slip. Kent having possession there, running it down the pitch a lot faster than they've been doing previously. However, they've decided to cancel that attack as they came into Manchester's full-on defence there. Fergus there wrestling the ball there, slapping it out, a little bit of slappy play. And there we go for a nice bit of attack on a beautiful pass over there to Christine from Fergus. Throwing up the pitch to number 12, who passes it back to Christine, but it's been intercepted by Oh, bloody. By Kent, who has now been intercepted again by Fergus, who's passed it back to number 12, who hasn't been beat because they blocked it. Christine's caught it, and now being imposed by the keeper, who's passed it back to Fergus, who's running it in, and the keeper blocks it, but Fergus still has the ball. Fergus is going in for it, and they passed it to number 12, who passes it over to Christine. Christine's running for it, but oh, good Lord! Christine, number 73, being blocked by two chasers there, passing it off to number 77, who passes it back to Fergus. Fergus running it in, popped off, and it's gone in the goal. Bloody hell. That was a bit faster than they've been going so far. Let's see later. I'll check, see if I got any of the names right. Right, keeper for Kent, currently with Quaffle possession. Ambling down the pitch, he has, I believe they're having a little chat with Carla there. They're devising a plan, it seems. But the beaters have decided to charge in well before the chasers. This looks like the beaters might have to deal with Manchester's bludgeon control here. There's a little bit of tough play there on the beaters there. I believe there was an over-the-shoulder contact, but the refs had let play. Passing it over there, but intercepted by Antonia. I'm going to say Michael again, number 51, auxiliary player. He's passed the ball off to Christine. Christine running down the pitch, being tackled there by number 13 of Ken, passing it off to Joey. This time it is Joey, who has passed it back over the half court, which means there is a reset there, passing off to Antonia. Very long pass there, number 98, still running for it, still in play, being pressed there by chaser from Kent. I believe that's Carla who intercepted the pass there that Antonia made towards, good Lord, what's his name? Michael, still Michael. This time is currently about 11 minutes, I believe. It's 11 minutes. Kent walking down the ball with Carla in charge of the Quaffle. Manchester still holding bludgeon control. They're really holding on to it this time, which is giving them a massive advantage on the attack. On the defence, even. Kent not quite sure how to use their bludgeon there, I think. Intercepted there by Antonia. Passed up by, oh, good Lord, what was their name again? Christine, passing it over to Joey, who then passes it over to Michael again. Who passes it back to Joey. Joey now only there with the keeper. Keeper intercepting there. Number 24 getting in the way, almost catching it. But Antonio again stealing that Quaffle off them. Intercept there. Oh, well, a bat, I believe, by the keeper. We've got Sergio guarding the Quaffle, so Antonio can go and reclaim. Sergio there clearing out bludgers for the defence. Manchester not capitalising on it. However, it also seems that Kent didn't quite know where their partner beater was and didn't pass the ball back to them. Unfortunately missing them. Sergio again defending the Quaffle. Antonio being slapped silly from having that ball removed from them there. Sergio deciding to relieve them of bludger support there and returning back to their hoops to set up a defence. We now have Kent's keeper, who's doing a big old pass over here. I believe there might have been a knock-on rule that was enforced by Bateman that time. We have number 51, I'm again going to call Michael, on his own up there, passing it off to Joey after taking a beat there. Sergio again clearing out the bludgers from the defence. We've now got number 6, again going to call him Michael, running up the pitch, passing it back to Joey, who's now right by the hoops, being contested by number 42, of Kent. Antonio fumbling a pass there, being intercepted and removed of Quaffle control by Kent's little chaser, not sure of their name. We now have keeper control, or keeper with the Quaffle walking up the pitch, nice and slowly. I could really do with a sandwich at this point. Here we go, walking up the pitch. Going towards the hoops. Again, very slow, but it does look like they've cleared out one beat. Oh, not quite. It was a block there by Sergio. We now have hands on by Michael, who is trying to force them off the pitch. Michael's been beat, but Sergio got in there and beat out the Kent chaser. Joey has now reclaimed possession for Manchester. Manchester running down the pitch. They have cleared out bludgeon control. Kent now trying, I believe this is just man-on-man marking, as Joey has been tackled there. Sergio has taken out her tackler. Number 24 of Kent being knocked out again. Kent have now reclaimed one bludger and they're running in. Sergio trying to mark out the pitch, but we've got number 51 running in. I'm going to call him Michael, passing into Antonia, but miss. I believe that was a pass to shoot, as they call it. Or shoot to pass. This time is currently 14 minutes. Oh, and Manchester still have possession, but Bludger's going in, and that was a goal there by number 51. Again, auxiliary Michael. Bateman passing the quaffle back to number 12, keeper for Kent. The score is currently 30-0 for Manchester. It's 50-0. I wasn't counting. The score is currently 50-0. I'm very bad at this, I'm sorry. Been awfully naughty. Time is currently 14 and a half. Kent seem to actually be using their beaters on the offense well timed this time, but the keeper did not prioritize actually moving. They've done a big long pass there to Blonde Chaser, but has been intercepted there. Blonde Chaser number 3 of Kent. Quaffle possession currently with Manchester, with again auxiliary Michael running down the pitch. I believe bludger control has not quite been cleared out, and he did take a hit on the back, but it doesn't look like it's been called as a hit. I believe they've called that hit on Kent's own player. Possession of the quaffle is number 12 Manchester, who has passed it over to number 77, who's right by the hoops, but taking a beat right to the snouse. And number 12 passing it off to Fergus. Fergus being beat before being able to pick it up though. And bludger control, bludger control is still with Manchester. The quaffle control is now with the keeper. We have Claude going as the snitch even, getting ready to get on pitch and do a bit of a boogie. Kent seem to have forgotten half their team on the attack, and they've only got 3 players going up there. Fergus going straight in there for a tackle, got past the beater. Beater decided to turn around and finally actually hit him. In front of us, we have Caitlin, I believe, who's going to be the seeker for Manchester. On the pitch currently, I know we can't see it on the camera, but we've just had a misbeat on number 6, Michael Auxiliary, who's gone in for the tackle. He was attempted to beat there, but he dodged it in falling in the tackle. But he's still up there, really hounding in Kent. Kent putting in a body check here. Beautiful work there by number 8, I believe, of Kent. And Sergio gets in there, making a beat. Fergus has picked up control. Sergio really going again, stealing a quaffle. Fergus running up the pitch, unopposed, and popping it straight in there. That was quite nice. I believe that brings the score to 6-0 in favour of Manchester. Bludger control still with Manchester as the snitch prepares to get on pitch. The time is currently coming up to 15 seconds until the snitch. Fergus misses the tackle there. Number 3 running up there, but a bit hesitant to charge and capitalise on getting past that chaser. Fergus picking up the quaffle there, running down the pitch. Snitch is now on pitch. Sergio again clearing out the bludger defence, passing it off there to number 12, who pops it straight through the goal there for Manchester, bringing the score to 70-0, I believe, for Manchester. Keeper for Kent has possession.
17-18.
Now going into snitch play, Manchester do have bludger control, and they are currently 70 points up, which means that they are 40 points clear of any real effect on the snitch. Claude, however, is a very experienced snitch and a lot bigger than both the seekers here. Again, we have Manchester. They are taking up a point defence, it seems here. Actually, it looks like it's a part cavalry roar they've got here. Again, Sergio just clearing out the attack there, beating 4 players in one go there, I believe. And we now have a back to hoops there for Kent, but Fergus has quaffle control, running up the pitch there, straight down into a tackle there from the keeper, passing it out there to number 6, who has scored it. The score is currently 80-0 to Manchester. On the snitch game, we currently have an unopposed Caitlin going in for it, but a beater is now on her back, and they're being beaten out there, which gives Carla a bit of alone time with the snitch. They are going in for a guard because they don't want to knock themselves out of the game. I believe Kent still have some fight in them left. They're going to go for it, though they are going to go for it ever so slowly. Nice little bit of an amble. Again, taking the exact same attack that they've been going for most of the game, I believe. One beater in front of the Quaffle trying to guard it, but Manchester's point defence here. They are cycling up their defenders, which is working well. Sergio being pressured there by the beaters of Kent, which work quite nicely. Pushing them back, not allowing them to clear out the attack like they have been doing. The Kent keeper really hugging that ball. They're not in a position to throw it, but they're not in a position for it to be wrapped out of their hands. As saying that, as Sergio rushed in with Kent's grip on the ball there, they were never going to be able to throw it. But number, I think 71 of Kent there, that beater there, knocked out four Manchester chasers and players in a nice little roll there. There was a big throw there by, I believe that was Emily Nuris, tried to make a beat there. Missed it, number 51, auxiliary, Michael. Knocking out the Quaffle from Kent's player there. Not sure of the number or name. Number 1! Does that say Sissy? Number 1 of Kent. Quaffle control is now with keeper of Manchester. Bludgers are now with Kent. Kent have bludger control for the first time in the game at a crucial point when the snitch is on pitch. Score's still 80-0 though. Manchester throwing up there, number 12 being contested again by number 12, their opposite player on an opposite number. Number 13 moving in there, but passing it off to Christine, who is being pressed quite energetically there by Kent's number 1. He's really going for it this time, but Christine making her way through, missing a beat there. Quaffle being knocked out of their hands. They're still fighting for it in. No passing options there for Christine, so they're really just holding it seems. On the snitch game, on the other hand, it seems that Claude is just kind of holding Caitlin and removing the broom. We love a good broom snatch. Right, moving up on the game with the Quaffles, we have Kent, I believe number 13. Oh, they've got their numbers on their shorts on the front as well. Did not see that. That would have helped at the beginning of the game. Right, Kent walking down the pitch. Again, ambling nice and slowly here. It seems that Fergus has moved on to seeking, and he's got a little bit of alone time to get a bit close and personal with the snitch. He's going to take them out for lunch later. Moving down the pitch, number 13. Nice and slowly, yet again, using their beaters to try and break a bit through. Emily making a nice headshot there, and I believe that is, again, auxiliary player Michael, number 51, making the steal there, passing it off to number 12, who is sprinting down the pitch. Lovely fast play, no one's there to stop her, and there we go, it's in. That was unexpected. Right, that brings the score to 90-0, I believe. Fergus is currently on the snitch, unopposed. I'm going to move the camera over that way so we can see it for a little bit. As Kent moves down the pitch ever so slowly, they have one bludger, I believe, and one Quaffle in the middle of the pitch. They're not really moving fast, not a lot of urgency on this one. I believe really at this point out of the game where you've got the snitch on pitch and you've got Manchester who are constantly able to reset their defence, we really need a little bit of urgency here where we can burst it through them. I think speed is really going to be the key for them here, but they just don't want to run. This might be part due to the fact that they've got quite a small squad. I believe they've got 11 players, so fatigue throughout the day. They've got 9 players.
No, we've got 9.
You've got 9. Well, good luck. I've just been informed by the what team are you on? You're Sterling? Swansea have 9 players, so they're poo-pooing my little insinuation that small squads might struggle for energy.
Yeah, I feel bad for London. I mean,
so again, we have Fergus unopposed on the snitch with Quaffle going up there. I'm going to zoom in on the snitch play here so you guys can have a bit of a look, and I'll commentate on the Quaffle play. So on Quaffle, number 51 passes off to Antonio, who goes for a shot, but it's blocked by the keeper of Kent. Kent keeper currently having possession of Quaffle. We have a brooms down. Let's find out what for. It's a little bit of... Oh, a brooms down, I believe, for a non-playing coach being on the pitch. Is it? Let's find out. So currently we're on the snitch game. I believe Claude is just throwing people about a little bit. So Kent have just got a blue card here for gender. So in Quidditch, if you're not aware, the gender rule. Snitch is on first handicap. So the gender rule where you must have at least Well, before the snitch, 2 players not of the dominant gender. When the snitch is on, that does become 3 players of the non-dominant gender on pitch. It's a blue card, technical foul, those don't stack. He'll be fine in a minute or 2. Or if Manchester score, which also might be in a minute or 2. Right, Kent have possession of Quaffle with the keeper. The score is currently 90-0? 90-0. Score is currently 90-0 and the time is 23 and 40 seconds. I'll be very precise on this one. There we go. They are subbing off a player to make the good lord, I have forgotten the name of the things. The penalty, the naughty step, the penalty box. So number 3 player, apparently number 3, that's what it says on his shirt, that's what I'm going with. Player has been subbed off for 1 minute or until a goal has been scored to serve time for his captain for the gender rule breaking. Quaffle still is with the keeper of Kent. Kent walking down the pitch now. It seems that this time they're sending the bludger in before the arm beater in before the unarmed beater. Sharry there with control for Manchester on the bludgers, guarding Fergus as they're fighting it on for the snitch. Snitch is on first handicap. We're being told by Jackson here for his players not to walk, to run. However, it seems like it wasn't quite in there quick enough for his number 51. Michael has Quaffle going for a goal, not making it, but breaking the hoop down. None of the... Oh, it seems that it's been called they were beat before the throw there, so turnover has been placed with Kent. Kent, number 4, walking down the pitch there, still in the keeper zone. However, not being a keeper, yeah, really gives them no effect. They have 1 bludger guarding them, trying to make sure that they can burst through the Manchester defence. Manchester currently splitting their bludgers. Number 3 player for Kent has come back onto the game. However, as they're coming in from the sub-box, they have to dismount and go back to their own hoops first before they can enter. Sergio there working in on the bludgers. Turnover of Quaffle as number 28 has picked it up, passing it off to number 6, Michael, who's passing it off there to number 51, Michael, who passes it back to number 6, Michael, who's running down the pitch, aiming up there. It looks like they might be planning to pass it off to Joey or Antonia. Antonia is the one, but misses the catch. Joey running it in, managing to block off there, getting Quaffle control, passing it off to number 51, Michael, who throws it over to number 6, Michael, who passes it back to Antonia, who goes for a goal, narrowly missing, hitting the hoop base there. Keeper has claimed possession, number 16 for Kent, who is not Michael. Walking down the pitch, nice and slowly. It looks like Manchester have subbed. Apologies for the slight delay there in camera. We had a slight technical problem. Nothing really interesting happened, bar Fergus scored again, which brings the goal up to, I believe, 100-0 in favour of Manchester. Manchester still with bludger control, it seems, regaining it after that short stint of losing it to Kent. That's the name of the team. Giving them a bit of alone time with Claude, but Claude has dismounted the Manchester seeker. Kent making a big pass up there to number 24, who misses the catch, unfortunately, but they're back in the game now. Going down the pitch nice and slowly. It looks like they're only taking 3 chases as Kent's keeper falls back into a defensive position. Kent being knocked out there by by Sharry even, who has cleared out Kent's attack. Giving the ball to number 51, Michael, for Manchester. Michael deciding what to do. He's dodged a beat there, passing off to number 6, Michael, who fakes it and pops it straight through. For Manchester, another goal, which is 110-0. Nil point. Kent currently have Quaffle possession with their keeper, who I believe is about to sub off there, calling for a sub in 1 more run. Passing it off to number, I think, possibly 11 of Kent there with Quaffle possession. We have Carla on the snitch for Kent, guarding it from Fergus, who's trying to find an opening to get around them and get to the backside of Claude. And it looks like Kent again, walking down the pitch nice and slowly. Manchester going for a beat, getting a beat though in return there, but there's still no one to oppose. Number 51, Michael, who's running down the pitch with number 12 in Well, he didn't even need number 12. There they go. That's 120-0 in favour of Manchester. Michael scored it. Ball has been passed to number 48, keeper for Kent. Again, it looks like the seekers have been cleared out around Claude, which allows Fergus to get in there, have a bit of play time with Claude. Let's have a look at the snitch game for a bit. Claude, again, as I say, a very experienced seeker, especially at this level. He's going to take a long time. They're going to take a long time to be caught here, but Fergus is doing their best to try and tire them out. Missing a dodge there, dodging a beat even there, going in for it. It looks like Kent on the Quaffle game are currently considering if they should charge in or not. Snitch is now on next handicap. There was a missed beat there by Manchester, running it through and just missing a goal there for Kent. Number 13 just being pushed through at the last moment there, not quite making it into the goal. Snitch is on next handicap now, which I believe is, they have to stay in the centre of the pitch.
Oh, it's one hand.
Oh, it's one hand now. Snitch is now on one hand.
Thank you.
Quaffle possession is with number 6, Michael, who passes it off to number 51. Michael, who scores, bringing the score to 130-0.
What number?
13 who scored.
13.
Oh, sorry, who scored?
Yeah.
51.
51.
It was tall Michael. And on the snitch game again, we have Fergus still going out, still unopposed, going for it. Claude now on second handicap, unable to use their one of their arms, so it's going to be their left arm they've decided to go for. What an interesting choice. Fergus still really pushing in for it. The time is currently coming up to 30 minutes of gameplay. On the Quaffle game, Fergus really going in for it. On the Seeker game, Fergus going in for it. The Quaffle game is still slowed up there. There's been a turnover of Quaffle, it seems, because there's been an out-of-bound pass. Player number 3 not quite catching it. Manchester are about to make a run up there, unopposed, I believe. Oh no, they have put up a defence there on the... That's a no goal. That was an attempted goal there by Michael, number 6, but no goal. It's been a turnover. Keeper number 48 has claimed possession for Kent. Fergus still unopposed on the snitch. They're really having a nice little dance out there. Fergus, I believe, dances the cha-cha beautifully. Quaffle is now past the halfway on the pitch, with the attack being with Kent. Kent taking one bludger up there, using it as a defensive shield for their Quaffle carrier. Bludger has pulled back from the Quaffle carrier, making it an easy intercept there for Manchester, who are able to, well, have run of the pitch there. It seems that Shari is just beating people out there for sport. Well, it's Quidditch, it is a sport. Right, here we go, bang up the pitch. Number 6, I believe, Michael, going up there with number 12 flanking him, and number 17 passing off to number 12. Number 12 passing it back to Michael, and now giving a pass back to number 12, who pops it in there. Nice and simple, like throwing bread into an oven. I don't like bread. There we go, Quaffle possession, back again with Ken. Fergus going back in on the snitch, unopposed there, with a bit of a guard there from Sergio. And we now have Carla, number 8 for Kent, blocking Fergus from getting in. Fergus deciding to sub off, terrified of Carla. And the absolute fear that sends him up. Here comes Caitlin running in. Lots of lovely new speed with a lot of energy coming in to get Claude to come grab their backside ball. And it looks like there's been a, well, that wasn't a reset, that was a kick towards hoops, but number 12 is running it in. That was a beautiful kick there by Michael, number 6, who passed it off to number 12, who's passed it back over to number 6, who pops it in. And that brings the score to 150, I believe, 0 in favour of Manchester. Manchester currently with bludger control, Caitlin unopposed on the snitch. That was some lovely hand play there. We love some hand-to-ball play when it gets that close to the hoops. It was just a case of slapping it a little bit and allowing it to pop into that hoop. Beautiful. Takes a lot of skill and practice to do that. Or luck. Could be luck. Snitch is still being guarded, so let's go on to the Quaffle. Quaffle ambling up the pitch. One bludger, not quite in a forward position enough there to guard the Quaffle. Quaffle being passed back there, almost a turnover, but not quite. Being able to keep it in pitch. Quaffle moving slightly, and it stopped. And it's moving backwards, and it's going forward. Here they go. They're going for a charge, but a beat out there by Sherry, who got a very quick, well-timed beat there, leaving Michael, number 51, running down the pitch. Yeah, I'm going to call that a run. There we go, down the pitch with, I believe that's Joey on the side there for a passing option, but they're deciding to, they have passed it off. Joey popping it straight through there, leaving it, that is Joey. Yeah, I'm right, that's Joey. Popping it in there, that is 160-0 in favour of Manchester. Back on the snitch over here, we have Sherry bobbling it with one bludger, but not quite being beaten out there. Good attempt there by Kent's beater, who has actually not noticed that Manchester have an unopposed seeker on the snitch. Or maybe they're just playing it a little bit safe. They are moving slightly towards the snitch here, the seeker, to get a back on the beat. A beat on the back even, but it's left Sherry free to really cause havoc there, causing a long pass that's intercepted there by Manchester's keeper, Michael, number 6, who's running down the pitch, flanked by Joey as a passing option there on the shoulder, running down, giving a little bit of a finger nod there that he's going to pass it over. Passed over to Joey. Joey running it in with passing option behind, but intercepted there by the keeper, number 16 for Kent, number 13 for Kent, gaining Quaffle control. Moving there, but being opposed there by number 6 for Manchester, Michael. And Sherry's come in here to wreak a bit of havoc with her bludger. Big pass over there, but a beat out there by Sergio, which gives the Quaffle control to Manchester without really being much of a fight. Number 51, Michael, running it down the pitch. There they go. Lovely bit of a canter, and just no one really tried to stop them there. There was a bit of an attempt with a hand from Kent, but that was number 6, Michael, for Manchester.
What number is this?
Number 6, tall number 6, Michael.
Yeah, I know. We think we've got 2 number 6s. Something's gone wrong.
There very well might be. Well, there'll be 1 number 6 on Manchester and 1 on Kent.
Yeah,
Right, we currently have no bludgers around the snitch, and Carla again has gone into a defensive position, guarding it. So let's follow the Quaffle that's ambling down the pitch. There goes Josh Armitage, prowling on the side of the pitch there. Oh, someone just tried to slap it. I believe that was number 6. Michael tried to slap the ball out of the keeper's hand, who does a big long pass there to number 12 of Kent, who narrowly dodges a beat, but the beat has come back in and taken them out. Number 11 of Kent there. Beater has gone straight behind the hoops of Manchester and trying to duel it out there. But they might be a little bit too high there to actually do any effective play there, seeming as the keeper has the Quaffle. Kent now running back to set a defence. Kent's defence looking like, I believe it's a half point they've set up there. Or a stack. Passing it off there to number 18, Joey, who pops it straight in, bringing the score to a certain number. I believe that's 180-0 in favour of Manchester. At this point, my voice is starting to go, and I'd really like Claude to be caught. Will Manchester break the 200 mark? Will Kent get a goal? Who knows? Find out soon. Well, actually, Manchester, if they can't, they are going to break the 200 mark. Ooh, there. It looks like Kent have now decided to go for a snitch catch. Let's have a look at this. Here we go, we have Carla and Fergus both going in there. Helpful effort, Fergus really getting his hand deep in there. He's got to get Brown Figures going for a 90-point snitch grab. Not quite getting it, really holding on to their broom there. It looks like there's going to be a goal here. There we go, Michael again, number 51 of Manchester has scored that. But back on the important fun bit, the snitch. That brings the score to 190-0 for Manchester. The snitch is currently down on their knees. They might be a little bit tired or just praying. I don't know what time it is. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look at this. Kent's seeker having to go back to hoops because they approached the snitch while the snitch was down. Fergus, unopposed, round by the snitch, going for a bit of a snitch catch. Really dancing it in here now. Number 8, unopposed, but number... I'm going to say 11. Yes, it is number 11 there, going back on the snitch to guard it for Kent. Kent passing the halfway line with the Quaffle. 18. It's taped 18. Well, that's unfair. That's just... That's cheating. Right, Manchester have reclaimed bludger control, and Fergus now has no one blocking him from the snitch. Fergus really fighting it in there. Manchester, number 51, Michael, is running down the pitch. And I believe there might be a big long pass here to Joey. Joey intercepting it, but getting beat just before the throw, which means it is a no good goal. But number 51, let's have a look at the Quaffle play. Number 51, picking up the Quaffle even. If they picked up the bludger, there'd be an issue. Running it in past first chaser, hitting it. That did go through. They have called it good, which brings the score to 200-0, I believe, in favour of Manchester. The first 200-plus game of the day. That's 209. Right, here we go. On the snitch, it seems that Kent have decided they are going to try and catch whenever they have an opportunity. However, Sergio is clearing out the seekers around the snitch, giving Fergus again time to get his head and his broom caught up in Claude. Here we go. Quaffle moving down the pitch here. Again, taking Kent's classic nice and slow movement. The time of the game time is currently 38.5 minutes. Kent, again, just kind of relaxing on the pitch a little bit here. Trying to find an opening. Number 13, really thinking it all through. Making a lovely little dip and dive pass there. Passing it off there to number 14, who is being intercepted by number 51, Michael, and number 12. I'm going to get past him. Here comes Christina, just kind of running it through, passing it off there to Joey. Joey not really being opposed, running it through, and there's a goal. It did seem that number 17 put their hand through the hoop. Being a chaser and not a keeper, that would have meant that the goal was good no matter what. But that was goal number 21, scored by Joey. I believe that gives Joey a hat-trick of goals. Fergus on his own there, just, again, dancing with Claude. He keeps on running into them head first. It's very much like running into a wall. Would not recommend. Maybe once or twice, then you gotta rethink your life. There we go. Carla going in to block, but also... There was a little bit of contact there, but not too much. They're all consenting adults. Right, here we go. Back on this. On the Quaffle game, we have number 42, Jackson, being contested. Oh, and a lovely swat there by number 57, Michael, for Manchester, taking Quaffle control. Manchester passing it off there to doing things. Manchester doing things like that. But look at this snitch game. Isn't this beautiful? Dismounting one of them and now just having one to go with. That was a goal there for Manchester, bringing the score again to 220. Fergus unopposed on the snitch currently. Fergus has got their arm round. They go over a lovely reach around, but not quite making it. Oh, that was a slap on the arse. I could hear that from here. It's lovely ringing. Luckily, it's a lovely warm day today, so it's not going to sting too much. A lovely little tap there by Sergio, who's given Quaffle control back to their team. Running it down, number 51, Michael, making a shot. No goal, just rimming it. Just rimmed it. He rimmed the hole. Passing it over there to, I believe that's... Oh, names are escaping me now. Passing there to Antonio, who gets beat out there by a lovely little tap with a big red ball. Who's this? Keeper for Kent. Jackson. I really wish they gave me numbers and names. All right, Jackson going for a sprint. Kent are actually running. And they've gone for a goal, but it's been blocked there by a lot of different bodies in the way. Right, let's go back onto Fergus and his date. Here they go. Right, Fergus unopposed with Claude here, going in for a little slap and tickle. It does seem that Fergus is starting to weigh a little bit with the amount of attacks they're doing. I think they are getting tackled, tired even. And nice big pass off there to number 51, Michael, who pops it in backwards. That's just showboating, if you ask me. Undue showboating. Right, that brings us to 230, the score. Look at that. Isn't that a lovely number? The time is currently 42 minutes in. I believe we only have 3 minutes left of game time. Claude might last the game. Right, Manchester have subbed on Caitlin for a seeker. Caitlin bringing a lovely bit of speed and energy back to the game. Oh! Hey, up! What's this? It looks like Manchester may have been robbed of their clean sweep there with a lovely quick catch from Carla there. Is this going to be what cuts out Claude's Claude's 100% record of this game. Has Claude failed at a snitch? Catch has been called good. That leaves the game. The final score at 230. 230 with a snitch catch for Kent. Well done, Kent. Well done, Manchester. Tune in and watch the other games as you'll find them posted online on QUK, Facebook and on the YouTube account. Goodbye.